us moving a master plan. A plan long in the making.
These bats are bred for one purpose. For war.
Leave Sauron to me.
The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies is about to hit cinemas. So to get in the mood for this fantasy spectacle, we descend back into Middle-earth to review the entire franchise. Writer J.R.R. Tolkien wrote The Hobbit back in 1937, and its sequels, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, between 37 and 49. The first movie, The Fellowship of the Ring, was released in 2001, and millions of moviegoers instantly fell in love with elves, hobbits, orcs, Nazgul, and other fantastic creatures. Over the next 2 years, 2 more films and 17 Oscars followed, and the first trilogy is now widely considered one of the best of all time. Not to mention that these 3 movies have made almost $3 billion in total. In 2012, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey was released, and despite breaking the $1 billion barrier, it received mixed reviews from the fans and press. Nonetheless, the world of Middle-earth was once again stunningly rendered through groundbreaking special effects. All of the movies were filmed in New Zealand, and it looks like the studio bosses aren't the only ones making big bucks from the franchise. The country even has a government minister of the Lord of the Rings, and it's his job to financially exploit the fantasy flicks as much as possible. It's estimated that the first trilogy alone pumped around $200 million into the Kiwi economy. One tourist attraction that didn't get along so well with the cast is surfing. New Zealand has some amazing spots to ride the waves, and many of the film's stars indulged in their spare time. Until one day, Viggo Mortensen wiped out terribly and his board crashed into his head. One side of Aragorn's face was completely covered in bruises for a week. So in the scenes set in the Mines of Moria, all the shots of him were taken from his good side only. Along with Viggo's bruises, because the films include some of the biggest battle scenes ever captured on screen, there were plenty of lost teeth, broken limbs, and dislocated shoulders for all the actors, stand-ins, and extras. The Lord of the Rings flicks are among the biggest and most costly movies of all time. Just for the 4 main hobbits, 1,800 pair of prosthetic feet were made. Also, all the actors wore wigs, and so much hair was needed that it was almost impossible to acquire. Fortunately, the filmmakers found a group of women in Russia willing to cut their hair and sell it. I thought that orc looked like my mail-order bride. And that's just the props. The number of people involved on the project was sky high, too.
Well, we had, I think at the biggest, most busy time, there were about 2,000 people. And that was just crew members. We obviously had a big cast, and the 2,000 doesn't include all the extras and things that we had at various times as well. But within the Weta workshop, because Weta is the company that did the special effects with all the creatures and the armor and things, I think that there was about 150 people at the most busy time.
That was just about the first Lord of the Rings film. The new Hobbit flicks are just as massive in scale. The last one, The Battle of the Five Armies, is just about to be released. And as the title already implies, it promises to be one hell of an epic finale.
You have but one question to answer. How shall this day end?